Ek is Tinus Prinsloo, ek is van die Moth organisasie, die Memorial Order of Tin Hats waarvoor dit staan. Die Moths het begin in 1927. Dit is 'n ou veteranenorganisasie, ou diensteorganisasie van persone wat uit die oorlog uitkom. En ons is vandag hierso vir die SS Mendies wat 'n stoomskip was wat gesink het met 'n hele klomp van die Suid-Afrikaanse swart mag mense af van die Isle of Wight. Ons is hier om 'n kranslegging. Ons is die Moths, ons verteenwoordig die Moths organisasie. Soos ek gesê het, dit is mense van die ou veteranenorganisasies van die verskillende oorloë en konflikte deur die tyd.
Ek is Mariet Venter, die nasionale sekretaris van die Suid-Afrikaanse Legioen, die oudste militêre veteranenorganisasie in Suid-Afrika, en ons vier op die 28ste Februarie ons 90ste verjaarsdag. Ons hoop julle gaan almal dit saam met ons doen. Deur die hele land, maar ons gaan by die Militêre Museum in Johannesburg 'n klein funksie hê, waar ons dan nou 'n spesiale poging gaan aanwend. Maar die hele jaar is eintlik ons herdenkingsjaar, so daar's 'n hele paar projekte wat aan die gang is.
Generaal Dennis Earp, afgetrede hoof van die SA Lugmag, en ek is hier in my hoedanigheid as 'n verteenwoordiger van die SA Korea Veterane Organisasie, en ek wil graag 'n kruisie plant namens hulle.
Ladies and gentlemen, it now gives me great pleasure to call on the chairman of the Atteridgeville branch of the South African Legion, Mr. Feesvoete, to address you.
I welcome all distinguished guests, the generals and everyone of the representative from various countries. I welcome you. In the past, we grieved for the loss of our loved ones, families and friends. Today it is an important day for us to commemorate, to celebrate and to be proud. For this day tells us of our political and cultural past. It reminds us of our heroes and heroines who stood unshaken by fears of death. We acknowledge the role they played in the history of our beautiful country. The physical war is over. Today we fight spiritual and moral war. This memorial is to do with encouraging our youth to be spiritual and moral fighters. I thank you all, and you are all welcomed. Enjoy the day. Don't feel at home, be at home. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Feesvoete, for those welcoming words. I now call on the Chaplain van der Walt, to proceed with the service. Chaplain.
For me, it is a privilege to be in the presence of excellence. To be in the presence of people who are here to commemorate, not for the first time, but for many a times, since the 1950s, 1958, if I'm correct, in my research I did, that we had at this Gamotaka recreational resort in Atteridgeville some ceremonial services. On the 16th of January 1917, 94 years, 1 month and 3 days ago, the troop ship, the SS Mendi, sailed from Cape Town to Le Havre, carrying the last contingent of the Native Labour Corps for duty in France. In the late morning of 20 February, the SS Mendi steamed into the English Channel carrying a total of 802 black privates, 5 white officers and 19 white NCOs. The reason why I mentioned the disparity in color is that this commemoration is also for us to learn and see how we have made progress in working together. During the night, the weather worsened. The SS Mendi and her destroyer escort, the SS Brisk, reduced speed and sounded their sirens through the fog. A few minutes before 5 o'clock in the morning, on 21 February 1917, another ship, the SS Darrow, travelled at full speed in the opposite direction and emitted no warning signals, ramming the SS Mendi, which sank within 20 minutes. While the ship was sinking, the men sang and stamped the death dance. Of the 802 troops, 607 were lost, along with 9 of their fellow white countrymen and 30 crew members. Legend has it, when the Mendi sank, Reverend Isaac Dayoba rallied the men calling, "Be quiet and calm, my countrymen, for what is taking place now is what you came here to do. We are going to die, and that is what we came for. Brothers, we are drilling the death drill. I, a Zulu, say here and now that we are all brothers, Xhosas, Swazis, Pondus, Basutus, and all other. Let us die like warriors. We are the sons of Africa. Raise your war cry, my brothers, for though they made us leave our assegais back in the kraals, our voices are left with our bodies. Let us die like brothers." The majority of men who died on the Mendi has no known graves and are commemorated by the Commonwealth War Graves Commission on the Hollybrook Memorial in Southampton. Despite the inequalities of their lives, in death they are commemorated equal and without distinction. The 17 panels of the Hollybrook Memorial, which bear the names of the dead of the Mendi, were replaced in the early 2007 to correct some linguistic inaccuracies in spelling of names. So we also learned that we have the ability to also correct what went wrong in the past, where people's names were not correctly spelled. Working with various records and an expert in South African languages, the Commission were able to correct the discrepancies which had been uncovered. At a time when black men and women throughout the world were struggling to get their voices heard, the Commonwealth War Graves Commission treated the dead with compassion and equality. In South Africa and beyond, the tragedy of the SS Mendi became legendary.
I call on Mr. Kaidi Ramakgopa, Executive Mayor of the City of Tshwane, to lay the first wreath on behalf of the City of Tshwane. Major General Masondo, on behalf of the Chief of the Army. Brigadier General Mdumani, on behalf of the Chief of the Air Force. Rear Admiral Hlongwane, on behalf of the Chief of the Navy. Colonel D.G. Kotze, on behalf of the Joint Support Base Garrison. Wing Commander Clive Mitchell, on behalf of the British High Commission. Captain Apter, on behalf of the Embassy of the United States of America. Captain Alexei Kachev, on behalf of the Embassy of Russia. Lieutenant Colonel Godfrey Giles, on behalf of the Council for Military Veterans Organizations. Legionnaire Marietta Venter, on behalf of the South African Legion. Legionnaire Stefoshola, on behalf of the Atteridgeville branch of the South African Legion. Legionnaire N.J. Chara, on behalf of the Native Military Corps. Gunner Gip Hill, on behalf of the Pretoria branch of the Gunners Association. Sapper Kevin Bolton, on behalf of the Sappers Foundation. Brigadier General N.L. Greyling, on behalf of the South African Air Force Association. David Scales, on behalf of the Royal Air Force Association. Adam Luke, on behalf of the South African Armour Association. Brigadier General Slobbert, on behalf of Savannah. Lieutenant General Earp, on behalf of the Korean War Association. Adam Luke, on behalf of the Pretoria Regiment. Warrant Officer Henny Bresler, on behalf of the Pretoria Highlanders Association. Professor Duncan, on behalf of the Flame Lily Foundation. Brigadier General Slobbert, on behalf of the SADF Association. Warrant Officer Feltman, on behalf of the Pretoria Memorial Services Council. Major General Opperman, on behalf of the Voortrekker Monument and Heritage Foundation. Captain Charles Ross, on behalf of the Commonwealth War Graves Commission. Will all moths and mothwas please be upstanding? Moths and mothwas, 8 and shut! Miss Sandy Horn, on behalf of the Mothwa. Provincial Oboe, Moth Stewart Howie, on behalf of the Memorable Order of Tin Hats. Moths, salute! In proud thanksgiving, let us remember our elder brethren. They shall grow not old as we who are left grow old. Age shall not weary them, nor the years condemn. At the going down of the sun and in the morning, we will remember them. Drop salute. Moths and mothwas, stand at ease. Stand easy, be seated. That then concludes the wreath-laying ceremony. And ladies and gentlemen, may I ask you to stand for the South African National Anthem.
let us not quit before the victory is there. There is far more here than meets the eye. The things we see now are here today but gone tomorrow, but the things we can't see will last forever. And I'm sure that we are making progress amidst all the criticism and amidst people who lost hope for our beautiful country. This accident also brought a lot of tribute to our country. The SS Mendi has been honored by today's South African Navy. Secondly, a wreath-laying ceremony was held at the site where the SS Mendi sank, when the SAS Mendi and the British Navy's HMS Nottingham met in August 2004. Queen Elizabeth II and Mr. Nelson Mandela also unveiled a Mendi Memorial at Avalon Cemetery in Soweto in 1995 to commemorate this event. A plaque was also unveiled at the Delville Wood Museum in France. The ship has also given its name to the South African highest award for courage, the Order of Mendi, bestowed by the President on South African citizens who have performed extraordinary acts of bravery. What we learn today is that our past needs healing. Our future is bright. The choice is ours, not somebody else's. Today is the first day of the rest of our lives. We can make it count because we also call today the present. A present is a gift. And I've been in Africa for long enough to realize that if you receive a gift in the African context and you don't open the gift, it will never be yours. So it's really my prayer that you will open this gift of today, that today will be an inspiration to you, that tomorrow will always be better, because today is the first day of the rest of our lives, and we are making it count.
ASTV kykers, ek groet julle, ek is LA Feesvoete, die voorsitter van Suid-Afrikaanse Legioen, tak van Atteridgeville, Salisbury. Ek is die voorsitter van die assosiasie. Ek is verantwoordelik vir die welstand van die widowees, die kinders van die oorledende soldate wat in die gedurende die Tweede Oorlog geveg het. En dit is vir my baie noodsaaklik dat hulle moenie sukkel nie. Hulle moet ook hulle belonings kry, want hulle het in die oorlog geveg verniet. Anders het net bicycles en die gewere gekry, maar sover het hulle nog niks gekry nie. Maar wat ons nou probeer doen, laat hulle ook iets kan kry. En ons gaan baie projekte verstig, sodat ons die lewe kan, die armoede kan verslaan. Atteridgeville is gelukkig op die oomblik, want ons moet ook die misdaad veg. Ons moet ook die behandeling van die mense ook laat verbeter. En ons is hier dat ons jeug moet leer om die verlede te ken, om hulle wortels te kan verstaan, en dan kan hulle voort kan gaan.
Ek het in die army gejoin 1942. Toe is ek getransfer na 3 school in Pretoria Noord. Van daaraf is ik gaan transfer oorkant. Egypte, ik heb daar zo gebleven een jaar. Toen gaan we daar oor Italië toe. Bij die dorp was het Bari. 1944 to 45, die eind van die oorlog. Het was bijna moeilijk. Want er het oorgekomen die airplane daar zo. Germans. Toen kwam een streek 1946. Toen streek gekomen hier naartoe, met de huis.
Wat was jouw werk geweest in die army?
Armament section. Nee, ons was bij de squadron van 44 squadron. Maar die troepen die kost wegbrengen al dat. Laat ik zo zeggen. Maar toen ons daar zo geweest het. Toen ons bij die oorkant geweest bij access, laat ik zeggen, naar Italië. Ons elke maand ons het sigaret gekregen voor een issue. En van daaraf, laat ik zeggen zo.
Ek is die voorsitter van die wat ons noem die Pretoria Gedenkdienste Raad. Die Pretoria Gedenkdienste Raad is verantwoordelik vir 3 gedenkdienste elke jaar in die Pretoria omgewing. Die eerste een is SS Mendi wat julle vandag bygewoon het. En dan in Julie maand hou ons in Burgerspark die Delbos gedenkdiens. En dan die naaste Sondag aan die 11de November hou ons die laaste gedenkdiens vir die jaar. En dit is by die Uniegebou, die sogenaamde Vredesdag of Armistice Day soos hulle dit noem. 11 November, 1100 uur hou ons dan daardie diens. Die doel van hierdie dienste is natuurlik, soos ons almal sê, om die wat gesneuwel het in die oorlog, aan hulle eer te betoon, maar ook soos wat die hele ding rondom in Suid-Afrika se 2 minute stil te gaan, om ook te dink aan die mense wat agtergebly het. Nou, as gevolg van tye en die veranderende tye, sal jy sien dat die opkoms het bietjie afgeneem ten opsigte bywoon van dienste. En daaroor dink ek het lê daar baie groot opvoedingstaak by ons, om skoolkinders en jong skooliere en jong studente en jong mense in die land bekend te maak met hierdie tipe van ding, sodat ons jong mense kan kry om hierdie dienste by te woon.